Episode 34, Valuable Cargo. The convoy left the base just after dawn. No alarms marked its departure. No speeches followed it out. The gates opened, the transports rolled forward, and the walls closed again behind them, as if this were nothing more than routine logistics. Everlyn stood in the open rear section of the lead transport, rifle braced against her shoulder, boots planted wide as the vehicle cleared the perimeter. Cold air tore past her, sharp and clean. She welcomed it. This was the last moment anything would feel simple. The gargoyles rode in open carriers. Ancient stone bound in modern restraint, wings folded tight, surfaces worn by time rather than war. They weren't concealed or disguised. They were listed plainly. Cultural relics, geological anomalies, recovered artifacts awaiting reassignment. Heavy, inert, impractical. Exactly the kind of cargo predators noticed. The convoy moved with calm precision. Escort spacing was conservative. Defensive posture competent but unremarkable. Nothing aggressive. Nothing that suggested a trap. It looked like people moving something they didn't fully understand. Everlyn scanned the ridgeline as the terrain opened out, eyes never still. She adjusted spacing with hand signals and short commands, her voice clipped and steady over open comms. Hold formation. Don't bunch. Keep it boring. Mistakes were convincing when they looked accidental. The attack came without warning. Energy fire ripped through the rear escort, tearing armor apart in a flash of heat and light. One transport lurched sideways, skidding hard before rolling to a stop. Smoke billowed into the air. "Contact! Rear flank!" someone shouted. Everlyn was already firing. She dropped to one knee, returning fire toward the descending Zarthian craft as soldiers scrambled into cover. Rounds sparked uselessly against alien armor, but that wasn't the point. Resistance mattered. Men went down. Some screamed. Some didn't move again. This part was real. Boarding craft slammed into the convoy, grapples biting deep. Zarthian units poured in with brutal efficiency, weapons raised, movements precise and confident. Everlyn moved with her people, shouting orders, dragging one wounded soldier clear of the transport's burning flank before pushing him toward cover. "Fall back by threes, don't break! Hold that line, don't let them think it's easy." Around her, soldiers fought hard and died hard. Among them were others who could have done more, who could have moved faster, hit harder, ended this quicker. They didn't. They bled like everyone else. They fell back when ordered. They stayed human. Everlyn felt the tension in every one of them, the instinct screaming to end it, the discipline required not to. She fired again, clipped an alien unit hard enough to stagger it, then ducked as return fire scorched the air above her head. This had to look earned. When the moment came, she raised her fist. No signal flare, no broadcast order, just a gesture. Heavy weapons fell silent one by one. Defensive lines loosened. Soldiers withdrew unevenly, formations collapsing in ways that looked panicked, but weren't. They didn't stop fighting. They stopped winning. The difference was subtle, and it mattered. Zarthian units advanced with renewed confidence. They moved past the wounded, past the dead, straight to the gargoyles. Not with destruction, but care. Scanners swept stone surfaces. Stabilization fields locked into place. The massive forms were lifted with deliberate precision, wings clearing steel by inches as they were guided toward the open hold of the alien ship. Assets, prizes. Everlyn watched stone disappear into shadow, smoke stinging her eyes, hands still tight on her rifle. Then restraints snapped closed around her wrists. Weapons were stripped away. Survivors were forced to their knees, bound and separated with impersonal efficiency. No executions, no cruelty. Prisoners had value. Everlyn knelt among them, breathing hard. Dirt and blood streaked across her armor. She caught Kalen's eye across the wreckage for half a second. No nod, no signal. The time for coordination was over. Now came endurance. As the ramp sealed and the ship began to rise, Everlyn lifted her head and stared into the dark of the hold. From the outside, it would look like a loss. A convoy destroyed. Relics stolen. Defenders broken and taken. That was the story the Zarthians would believe. Everlyn allowed herself one slow breath. The gargoyles were no longer on Earth. and neither were they.